You know, I was going to do a video last night, but I didn't get back from Scioto until 10:30, and I just watched No Free Lunch race, his first start back. So really it just wasn't, I was tired, it was a long day. I figured I'd wait and do a video this morning. I wanted to wake up and take it all in and look at who raced yesterday, what I thought of the races, what went on. And then obviously look ahead to what's going on today. For us today, we really don't care. Scratch, she was a little sick, so she's not going to race. Sedona Hill, Irresistible Sun, and Purple People Eater will race this evening. Looking forward to all those races. But man, we had quite a treat yesterday. We had a lot of good races yesterday, but it's been a while since we had any horses race in the Grand Circuit, the big races. And we had a second place finisher last night in the graduate final. Man, I wish Jiggy Jog would go somewhere else. That is maybe one of the nicest trotters I've seen in a long time. What a beautiful horse. And she looked tremendous last night. Aki Svanstedt won the graduate pace colt with Stumbergelios, and won the trotting final with Jiggy Jog, and she did Jiggy Jog. But we did get up for second with Looks Like Money. He looked amazing last night too. Megan and Scotty have done a great job. He's got one more start in the States. I know I had a couple of people, and I had Megan also. Everybody wants to see the horse race. He's our horse. Of course they do. But he will be returning back to Canada after Hambletonian Day. He's got, what's it called? The Hambletonian Maturity or something like that. I'm not sure what it's called. It's on Hambo Day. It goes for quite a bit of money, and he will be in that race on Hambo Day. And then he'll be heading back home. He's got some stakes in Canada, and then obviously he's got the Breeders' Crown in Indiana. So a lot of stuff going on with Looks Like Money, but a lot of stuff going on in general across the board in the stable. We'll start from the top. Warwi Yuri was a winner yesterday in Hanover. Looked pretty good doing his work and getting his job done in Hanover. So good job by Mario. A lot of our clients are so astute in watching our horses race. You all heard that Mario Bergeron has $99.5 million made as a driver and closing in on 8,000 wins. So every win is a big deal for him, and obviously it would be unlikely that he would not surpass at least one, if not both, of those milestones at some point. Yes, honey. Okay, well, you're going to have to wait a second. So congratulations to Mario on the win, and hopefully we get to congratulate him on some pretty major milestones in his driving and racing career. Paycheck Princess was good. Tim Tetrick told Tim Twaddle that he thought he would have been second had she not run in coming out of the last turn. Now here's the thing, she doesn't run in anywhere else in the mile, so it has to be related to one of two things you would think. Either a lack of air, which it wasn't yesterday, or any other time, because we've scoped her a couple of times and nothing was found out of the ordinary. No redness, no swelling, no issues of any kind. And yet you would think the other one would be soreness, but don't see anything bothering her, and it's something that would be a little more acute on the end of the mile. So I'm not really sure. There's nothing been found, and she has run in like this since before Scott Zeron had qualified her. So I think we'll do the first step will be put a head pole on her, I guess. Put a head pole on her and see if we can straighten her out down the lane. And if Tim's right, then either Tim is right, then it looks like she belongs in the Stallion Series, and we'll race her in the next one. Now, up next was my 1%. A very flat second. I thought he was okay now, I guess, in fairness. He was flat. Now, in fairness, Warwi Yuri, that's true. I was getting that. If you'd just give me a second. Warwi Yuri 1 and 2-4, and my 1% was second and 2-1. But I thought there was a little more to offer there. Maybe it was wrong. Maybe again, I talk about how your expectations are a little off sometimes. Mine get that way too, right? I also have expectations of horses, and when they don't live up to them, sometimes I have to step back and say, was that fair to the horse? Was your expectations of that particular horse on that particular day fair, or were you just wrong? And maybe I was just wrong. So we'll see. I guess we'll do blood on my 1% to see what, if anything, is going on, and then adjust our expectations for next time accordingly. He raced very, very well, though. Now, one of the only hiccups of the day was I'm fancy, like, when things like that happen, I kind of beat myself up over it. I come to race, right? And sometimes you're going to get over-raced. I don't like under-racing, especially when it leads to less money and less win pictures. So we are going to race our horses. I thought I'm Fancy Like in a great position where I could loop over to the front quick, and I made that decision. If you watch the race, leaving the gate, I looked, there were 3 horses clearly backing off the gate, and rather than go begging for a 5-hole, it looked pretty easy to me that Ronnie Wren was going to turn me loose and then remove to the front. I'm sitting second behind the horse that won the Next Generation. I think very highly of my filly, but at the very least I'm going to get a good trip. And as it turned out, Ken Holiday had kept coming. They went a bigger half in front of her. You know, as one of our clients had asked me, you know, do you think you shut her air off when you grabbed her hard to let Ronnie go? That is a distinct possibility. I don't think it happened, but it could have. It could have happened. And, you know, quite frankly, 51 was just a lot to ask that filly. We'll drop her back to the Stallion Series now and get her bravened up. The one thing I am positive is that filly is tough as whalebone. You're not going to have to worry about hurting her. So I'm Fancy Like, not what I wanted to see. And I guess I would be a little more down on myself over the race. I think the biggest contributing factor was they went in 51. I'm thinking 53, 54, sitting in behind Ronnie. I'm going to get a good trip, and at the very least, get a good chunk of money, and at the very most, maybe get a run at him. But as it turned out, the filly's a freak. 51 was a new track record on July the 8th of their 2-year-old year, so there's that. And whether something happened with Fancy, I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. But what I do know is she's a nice filly. She'll bounce back. We'll race her in the Stallion Series, and she'll do very, very well. Up next was Venice Blue Chip, a little more moderate mile. Now that is how I wanted to race the other filly. If I had been able to race I'm Fancy Like the way I was able to race Venice Blue Chip, she's no worse than second. I don't think that would have been right in her wheelhouse. But just that added discomfort of 2 seconds of speed, which is 10 lengths. It's a lot. You know, I think contributed to her overall. I was going to say poor effort, but it wasn't a poor effort. You can't ask when a horse tries their heart out. You can't call it a poor effort. So unfortunate effort. Venice Blue Chip, I made front. I kind of wanted to be in the 2-hole. I didn't really want to be on the front, but I'm not gonna. If I back in too much, you're going to flush a bunch of horses out that maybe you don't want to follow, and they're going to end up running you into the ground. So I wanted to go enough. 27-3, half 57-4, 27-4, half 57-3 was more than enough for her to do her work. Do I think she probably should have been a winner? Yeah. But she raced good. She's more of a hunter. I still haven't seen that fire in her belly that we saw all winter long yet, and that will show up. I'm almost certain of that. So better things ahead for Venice Blue Chip. She was a good second. Again, she wants no part of 151 either, but not many do, right? So Venice Blue Chip, very happy with her yesterday. I thought both her and I did very well yesterday in that race. Born to Dance did everything he could. You know, I knew that Hank Levan's horse was kind of loose on the front. I looked at the TV as we come out of the turn. There's a Jumbotron type thing in the middle, and I could see that nobody was in a hurry to move. Everybody could see what was going on. So I just let Born to Dance back off, and he was smart enough to do it. He's learning, and I'm very, very happy to say and report that, but happy that he's doing it. He allowed me to keep him back a little bit, and as Hank Levan's horse, as soon as I saw the earplugs come out and I saw him look over his shoulder, you could tell that he was in trouble. He was now vulnerable, and at that point I let Born to Dance pace, and he paced as fast as he could from at that point of the mile to the wire, and he was a fairly beaten 5th place 4th. And there's nothing wrong with that also. We'll put him back in the Stallion Series. But, man, he's turned into a sweetheart to drive. What a nice horse. Still is a lot to learn about racing, but just really, really, really racing well. And very, very happy with the way that horse has done his work. Now we switched to other states and countries for the rest of the evening. JK Mickey Mantle, 51-1, 27 in the mud. Can't ask for much more than that. The problem I have with that race is he went to the gate at 115-1. And that's not going to happen again. So what do we do with JK Mickey Mantle? There's tons of places to race a horse with 4 wins that can pace him 51 in the mud. Anywhere. Where's the best one? And that's what we're going to be looking for today. He's not going to be entered back at a Mohawk at 115-1. And that's not Harry's fault. That's just what's available at Mohawk right now. And the answer, you could easily say, well, you could go to Georgian. Problem I have with Georgian is he's going to get in under that now one is a 5, now one is a 6 umbrella, and he's going to race for what, 8 or 9 or 10,000 Canadian, when he should be racing for 14 to 20 US somewhere else. So Where is the best place to race JK Mickey Mantle? If it is Georgian, so be it. We'll go. I don't know if it is. So we're going to find out over the next day or so. We'll work that out. We'll flesh that out. How the hell? I'm very, very frustrated with everything that has gone on with this horse. It just, the trucking or whatever. I'm sick and tired of making excuses for how the hell. I like the horse. I know he's fast. He's not quite good enough to do it Mohawk right now, but he's not near good enough to drive up and down the roads to watch him run all over the track. I can assure you of that. I told Dominic I will school this horse myself on Tuesday when I'm at Mohawk, and he will be entered in the next time to go where I can drive him. And if that isn't in Canada, then that isn't in Canada. But I'm not going to be getting angry about how the hell going behind the gate and running like last night. I don't know what got into him last night. I don't know what happened. He just rolled up. He didn't want to race. You guys saw the same race that I did. Went up to the gate. As soon as they picked up speed, he just rolled into a break. And I'm not sure why, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I can assure you of that. Looks like money was, I see it, 0.7, exit 153. Looks like money was tremendous. The best trotter we have right now, and it might be the best trotter we've ever had. Might be the best horse we've ever had, to be honest, to race against. You can say, the heat is going to shut down the window. Can you get it on your maps? I love, Patrick the Piranha and, Kings County and Locatelli and all these good horses, but none of them have raced in the Grand Circuit competitively well for us. They're great horses and some of the best horses we've ever had, but looks like Money was just second to the best 4-year-old on the planet, is what he was. And he's... What's that? Left? Oh, I thought for sure it would have been right. It said Avon left. Or Avon right. Okay. Good thing you pulled that up. So looks like Money, it's such a nice horse to race. I know Megan loves him to death, but I mean, how can't you? The horse Harry's done the same thing. I told you, we almost flushed Harry Polton out of his hole. He almost came out of Ontario to go race this horse in New Jersey, and that is how much Harry Polton thinks of Looks Like Money, and he is right. What a good horse. He is going to, I know a lot of people message me, say, hey, he's got this stake and that stake, he could go here, go there. He's going to the Meadowlands on Hambo Day, or for the final of the Hambo Maturity, and then he is going back to Canada. So there's no discussion in between. That is the path he's on right now. He'll race in Canada until we're going right here. Yeah. He'll race in Canada until it's time to go to Indiana, I believe. All I can say for right now is his next start is going to be in New Jersey in the Hambo Maturity. The start after that, and the stake start after that, will be the Maple Leaf Trot. The whole point will be to keep him fresh and sharp. We are going to be up against it. You're not going to be able to hide from Jiggy Jog anytime this year. And the other horses he's in with are very, very good horses too. So it's exciting to watch him. Addie, turn that down.
Are the age trotters and the breeders crowned by gender or not?
Yep. Addie,
so
turn it down.
I did.
Oh, really? Well, you're going to turn it down a little more. I'm going to take that.
Look it.
But I'm trying to do a video, right? Don't think you need to yell at me, do you? So, Looks Like Money, they're separated by gender, obviously. So it's the open Colts and Geldings Trot, horses and Geldings Trot, and then the open fillies and mares Trot. So Jiggy Jog can go back over with the mares, that's for sure. But still no simple division. But he is a player in there now, and that is an exciting time for us. White Tiger looked good. I know that Amy and everybody said yeah, he won last night, Tiger.
Yeah, we watched.
He won in the mud. He was a tiger in the mud. A muddy tiger.
Why?
Because it rained all day. So I was happy with Tiger. Tiger was in a position where he could get beat coming in the last turn. I don't care what horse was sitting behind him. I actually thought he was second coming out of the last turn. I said for sure he's going to be second. He dug down a bit and got his work done, and that's important. This is the town we were in last time. This is actually a really nice. This is the water slides here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wait until she sees it. She's going to blow a gasket here in a second. So White Tiger, I thought raced good. Don't don't play into too much of that. Oh, he only beat this horse by a half a length. It could have been an Amish horse, and White Tiger would unlikely drive away from him. He takes pretty good care of himself, especially on the front end. First start back on a 5/8 for quite a while. I'm not making excuses for him. I thought the horse raced good. 57 last quarter and 29 apiece in the rain, in the mud. I thought the horse raced well. And then No Free Lunch did everything he could. 50 in a piece. Sat last the whole way. I know that even Harry had said to me, this guy's going to find it tough here for the next little while. You're right. But there's just nowhere for us to go with. Where do you take a horse that is 30,000 made last 5 or 6 to race? That track doesn't exist. That jurisdiction doesn't exist where you say, here's a horse that got a little injured in January. We gave him all the time, brought him back. Just trying to get him back into top form. We'd like to start a spot to race him. No. There's nowhere to race a horse with that much money made last 5. So I know that Harry was worried about racing him and getting him run over also in Toronto. At the end of the day, I don't think there's any way to avoid racing this horse back into shape because there's no jurisdiction where you can just say, well, we'll take him here. I don't want him on a half. The Meadows, the Open doesn't fill all the time. When it does, they're going to put him in the Open. They're going to go in 49 or 50. So the same thing you're going to get in Scioto. Oak Grove's now closed.
Why is it closed?
Because the meet's over. Where do you want me to go? Left here?
High school here.
Oh, this isn't the same place then. I don't think.
Oh yeah, this field is.
No, it's the same town. I don't think it's the same.
No, we played here yesterday.
Why are you yelling?
Yeah, we played at this exact place. There's a road down there behind this field.
Yeah.
Like behind the high school, if you keep driving down, and there's a gate that you go through that leads to the field.
Okay, great. Anyway, that is Ollie. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Well, we'll look and see what's behind the school, honey. Anyway, that was racing yesterday. Very impressed. Obviously, more movement forward for Warwi Yuri. Nice to see him win. My 1%. Amy said that he went fast, but I'd like to see his blood work.
Good job, Yuri. That horse went 3 seconds faster than Yuri. And you're
but he just didn't look the same, and I thought he was a little flat. I'm Fancy Like. I know, tough trip for her, but she'll bounce back. Venice Blue Chip was great. Born to Dance. Again, nice horse. Now we know you probably put him back in the Stallion Series. That was the plan anyway. J.K. Mickey Mantle likely will be on the move this week somewhere. How the hell? He's better watch himself or he's going to be on the move somewhere too. And Looks Like Money, fantastic. White Tiger, a winner. And No Free Lunch did all the work that he could do also. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you had a wonderful day yesterday. I hope you had a great weekend, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care.